Okay, I thought I maybe might bury this argument as much as I can because right now we're going through a really weird time with consoles and PC gaming. Now, here's the thing. The argument has been brought up a lot lately about what should you buy, a console or a PC. Now, obviously, some people are going to say get a PC, you get more for your money, which is true. Some people just say get a console, it's easier. Well, let's go over that. Let's see which one's actually better. Okay? Let's go back a ways. So let's go with the PS2. This is the slim version, by the way. This is the one I recommend you get, by the way. If you're going to PS2 games, get this. If you want to get the fat model, get ready to replace the laser in it, because that's the thing that's the most broken in that whole thing. If you know how to do that, though, it's not a big deal. It's actually pretty cheap to do. So how does this console work? Well, you go to the store, you pick up the console, you take it out of the box, hook it up to the TV, cables and everything. You open the disc bay, put the game in, close it, turn it on, you're playing the game. That's it. You turn it on, you start the game, that's it. I got Grand Theft Auto 3 here. That actually still... I don't know if the disc actually works. I know I got the ROM on here. But yeah, you just turn it on, you're playing the game. No downloading, no installing, no updates, no creating an account, none of that stuff, right? All right. This is my Xbox One S, the digital version. I'm going to explain why that is. So how does this thing work? You go to the store, you buy the console, you take it home, take it out of the box, hook up to the TV. You can play some games offline, to be fair, but you got to install every single game. Every single game. Now, some companies find ways to get around that. They make the game small enough, it'll just launch. But for the most part, every single game you have to install on here. And you have to wait for it. Depending on the size of the game, it would take anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. Then, to top that off, click to the internet, you got to update the Xbox. That takes roughly 20 minutes to an hour. Depending on your internet connectivity, it might take longer sometimes. Then you have to create an account. If you don't, you got an account created already. That makes it a little bit faster. But then you have to go to your email. You got to make sure it's verified, all that stuff. And then eventually, you're playing the game. And most people connect to the internet anyway, so they're going to do all that shit before they even play a game. And if you don't have a disc drive, which this one does not, you got to download the games. If your internet speed sucks, it's going to take hours to do that. So you're better off downloading indie games. Those usually take a lot shorter. See the difference here? Okay. Next, we have the Nintendo Switch. This came out in 2017. So it was about 4 years after that. Well, 3.5 years after that they did, okay? All right, so how does this work? Well, you buy the console, you take it home, take it out of the box. You can hook it up to the TV if you want to because it's a hybrid. So you got the option. The good news is you don't have to connect this to the internet. It'll ask you, but you can skip it. Because I think you can. But it might still ask you, and you might have to get the internet anyway. Most of you are going to do that anyway. So the good news is updates are small on this thing for the console itself, so you don't have that big of a deal. Also, Nintendo did something smart. They still use cartridges, which load up like nothing. All right, so they've already solved the problem with this. The only thing is you're not going to buy the cartridges. You're probably going to download your games. And the good news is most games are small, so it's not that big of a deal. So this is probably the best option to go with right now. Creating an account's not too difficult. You still got to do the email thing and all that in order to buy games on the eStore or the eShop. But for the most part, this is okay. The only problem is the console's not reliable. In fact, this is my second one. My first one I had for 11 months and it died on me. No, I didn't fuck with it. All I did was leave it in the dock. And it died on me at 11 months. Which is another problem with these things. If it was more reliable, I give it more praise, but... well, you bought it and you probably bought more than one. So, but it is easier to use than that thing. Okay, so we're already off to a decent start. Let's change it up. This is the PlayStation 5, the PS5. I don't have one. I'm never buying one. Here's why. Remember the Xbox? Same thing. You got to hook it up, download the updates. I think you need an internet connection for this thing. You might not need it, but I think you do. And you have to download all the updates. You can put a disc-based game in there, but it's got to install. In fact, it has to install every single game as far as I know. I think they got some way of like playing it a little bit through cloud servers or something like that, or maybe you play it a little bit off the disc, but you still got to install every single game onto this console. Which is why most people just the disc version, they just get the digital version. And most games are huge on this console. They are getting really big. Okay? Some of them are like, I think the latest Call of Duty is like 280 gigs. Gigs. You know how many DVDs that is? That's a lot. And then you got to do the email thing. You got to log in. You got to do all this other stuff. And then you got to pay for the online. You got to do that with Xbox also. Remember that. You got to do that with the Switch as well. Not going to knock that out. And you have to do that with the PS5. You got to pay for the online if you want to play your games with your friends through the internet. So it's not sounding all that great. Now, once the games are installed, you can launch them if they don't need updates. As we all know, games update all the time on these consoles and on PC. Okay? So, you can see where the problem is already with these consoles. They're just not even consoles no more. They're just now, like, downgraded PCs. That's really all they are. Because here's what I call a console. I call a console this. You turn it on, you play the game, that's simple. You don't make it complicated. Problem is, they're making it complicated. Nintendo's probably the easiest out of all of them, to be fair. Which is why this still sells everything else. But for all that work, just to play a game, you might as well just fork the extra money over and get a PC. Now, if you're thinking it's going to cost you a fortune to buy a PC, no. If you look at PC hardware nowadays, I wish I had a graph. I could show you this. They're dropping in price. In fact, let me show you something. Oh, shit. This is a computer nowadays. Okay? This one's a little less powerful, but I only use it for emulation anyway. They're making them like this. And they've been doing it since like right after the PS5 dropped. And these are getting dirt cheap. This is only $200 right here. Actually, it's about $180. I got it on sale. Okay, they're making them like that. And the thing is, they make them even with more powerful processors nowadays. Okay, they're getting these things so good, they literally make the PS5 look like a piece of junk for the same price, too. You can buy one of these with the same power as the PS5 minus ray tracing for literally the same price. Literally. And you can get more out of this than that. And to make it worse, a year and a half after the PS5 dropped, this thing came out. The Steam Deck. This is literally AAA gaming on the go. If that's what you want. I'm downloading Doom right now. I accidentally deleted it. Yeah, and it plays Doom. It plays Cyberpunk. It plays Elden Ring. And honestly, it plays them on the same settings that your PS5 plays on. It just plays them on a lower resolution, which doesn't matter when it's like this far away. And this right now goes for, I think, $400, maybe less. You can get it for $320 with just a smaller drive. You can just stick micro SD cards in here and that's it. Boom, you can increase your storage that way. It's not that hard. I mean, they're making it way easier to play stuff without that big hunk of junk. You know. And the thing is, I know why you buy console still is because you're still thinking You're going back to these days still. You're still thinking, oh, it's like this. No, it's not like that no more. It's not. I wish it was, but it's not. You know, you're playing it because of your friends. That's the reason why you're playing that stuff. Where's the thing? I hate to break it to you, but you and your friend group, whatever it is, the world's moving on. Clearly. I mean, hell, I got your Ally over here. You know, this I bought this on sale for $400 also. It's the same price as a PS5 digital. And the thing is, this has a higher refresh rate than that thing. At least I think it does. And it plays basically the same games. You have to max the power on it, bring the power adapter with you, but yeah, it'll play them just fine. So, I mean, things have changed a lot. I mean, hell, even when they announced the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, I mean, a lot of us who are already doing PC gaming, we didn't care. We only bought them just for like play with our friends, and that's it. You know, so you really got to look at the difference, okay? Should you waste your money on something like that? Or should you actually just, you know, finally jump and get into PC gaming? Because believe it or not, everything is going PC soon. And I mean everything. You know, Sony's already announced the PlayStation 6 when there's barely any games for the PS5. And people are pissed, and I'm looking at them like, yeah, no shit. Why would you buy the 5? We knew no games were coming out for it. It's not that many. You know, and that's the other problem too. Games are taking forever to make. That's another problem we're dealing with. So why would you spend all that money on a console that you can only use for gaming and that's it, when you can just get yourself a PC and do more with it? And by the way, you don't have to get a small box like this. You can get like a big box PC for actually $500 with ray tracing. Now, I'm not even kidding. The same specs. Actually, it's updated hardware from that. Now, the only thing I can really push for this is say you got to be smarter with your money and you got to be smarter with what you're doing. Because it's getting to the point nowadays, people are just not paying attention to the world, or they're trying to stay in the same area they want to be in. That's not how the world works, okay? We got to move forward eventually. Now, will I say console gaming will never come back? That's not true. The thing is, what console gaming needs to figure out is how to make the experience that, to where it's like this. Okay, this is what it has to be like. You just turn it on, you go. You know, no installing, no downloading. You just turn it on and go. And the truth is, there is some technology coming out that's going to bring that back. It's going to take a while, but it's going to come back. I think Sony is going to hit so hard with the next generation if it even happens. Because I know Sony's losing money right now, right? There's a rumor that say they're going to buy, was it From Software, the guys who make the Elden Ring and Dark Souls games. I'm not a fan of those games, but, you know, hey, people like them for a reason. I don't even know if that's going to happen. I mean, Sony's losing a lot of money right now from some of the decisions they made. So who knows what's going to happen. But I can guarantee you this, console gaming is on the way out right now. It's on the way out. If you bought a console, sorry you wasted your money. Sell the thing. My opinion, just get a PC. You don't have to go crazy with it. You can get yourself a $500 rig for the same price, and I'm not kidding, it'll do more than that PS5 will do. I promise you. Even with the new software coming out there, even the upscaling and all that, it's way past what PS5 can do. It is way past that. You know, that's the best I can tell you. You know, because it's only going to get worse from here on out. If you're a console gamer, it's only going to get worse from here on out. The only company that's going to succeed is maybe Nintendo, and that's a maybe, because we don't know what the next console's going to be yet. And honestly, it's taking a long time to get the new console out, which I don't even know what it's going to be. They're saying it's going to be another Switch, but I don't know. I think they're scared shitless and they're making sure the new one works, because they had a lot of problems with this one. So, well, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and helpful. And yeah, that's it. So, take care.